Okay, so I want to tell a little story about this guy I was in the army with. His name was Strickland. Stephen Strickland. And this is the last guy you'd ever expect to join the military. Yeah, just looking at him, you would never believe it. This guy's in the army. Like, he was one of the smallest, nerdiest motherfuckers you're ever gonna meet. Like, he was like 5'4" or 5'5" or something. He was short and he weighed like 105 pounds, probably at the most. Like a 97-pound weakling, pretty much. And yeah. And I don't know if he was slightly autistic too. I think he might have been on the spectrum, some kind of Asperger's syndrome or something. And whenever I wanted to feel bad about being a shitbag or not being able to do anything right, I always looked at Strickland and it would make me feel better because he was even worse. And people would always be pissed at him all the time. Like, Strickland, what the fuck are you doing? You ate the fuck up, Strickland. Ate up means like you're fucked up. You can't do anything right. The opposite of high speed. You don't want to be ate up. But yeah, Strickland was pretty ate up. Very, very smart kid. Right? Like he would beat my ass in chess all the time. He was one of the first guys to ever beat me when I started playing. Like the guy I looked up to, like I want to beat you in the next few months. That's my goal. That was Strickland. And yeah, he was a very intelligent kid, but he was just, I don't know what was wrong with him. He couldn't do shit. And we'd always be like, why is he in the army? And then we find out his father was a drill sergeant, right? And he just adored his father and wanted to be just like him. And like he joined the army. Obviously, he's not going to be a drill sergeant. I can't imagine that. Like this guy had like the brown hair and the freckles, and he wore like huge, thick ass glasses, like the Army BCGs, the big, thick Army issued glasses. And he talked with this like howdy doody. No, you know what he talked like? He sounded like fucking Pinocchio when he talked.
My name is Strickland. Stephen Strickland.
Literally, I'm not kidding me. That was like his voice. And yeah, Pinocchio. Like,
I'm Strickland. I want to be a real boy.
oh man. And it turned out he couldn't even talk on a radio. Like, this was the only job they would give him in Iraq. I wasn't much better, but whatever. So they had him in this room, in the radio room, just taking calls from the field. If they, give him their coordinates, their position, wherever they were at, and he'd write it down, and that's about it. No way he was ever going out on missions. I think the fucking M4 weighed more than he did. Yeah, right. And then one day, because, we all have our call signs. He has a call sign. The people he calls have a call sign. And everyone has a different call sign. You wouldn't have the same one. That would get fucking confusing, right? Until the night he decides to pick up the radio and call himself. I swear to God he did this. His call sign was Volunteer X-Ray. He picks up the radio to call whoever was out on the patrol. And he goes,
This is Volunteer X-Ray calling Volunteer X-Ray, over.
And everyone's like, Strickland! You can't call yourself on a fucking radio. You cannot call your own call sign, Strickland. And then he got fired from that job too. And I don't even know what they had him doing the rest of the deployment. I guess just nothing. But yeah, that was Strickland. But he was a really nice kid. I liked him a lot. He sucked, but he had a lot of heart. He tried. He didn't quit. I mean, what more can you say? Like, and he turned out to be a fighter too, which also shocked us. This one time in Iraq, we had this kid named Brown Eagle, Kyle Brown Eagle. That was his actual name. I think he was Native American or some shit. Of course, they referred to him as Shitbird. This was his nickname. Shitbird! Brown Eagle, get the fuck over here now, Shitbird. And Brown Eagle was like getting in his face and making fun of him and pushing him. And then Strickland just hauls off and punches this kid right in the mouth. And Brown Eagle was so shocked and so not expecting a punch, it actually knocked him back a little bit. And even Brown Eagle was impressed. Like, you couldn't even be mad. It's Strickland. Like, holy shit, bro, did Strickland just punch me in the face? Wow, like you want to shake the kid's hand even though he hit you. So impressed. And I guess this also extended to sports, which we also figured he could never do. I told you, he weighs like 100 pounds, probably never played sports or went to a gym in his life. He plays chess, reads comic books, whatever little nerdy kids do. Not sports, but we're playing basketball at the gym one day, McGrath Gym at Fort Drum. It's like a full court game. And we had this guy named Keys. Keys is like 6'3", 6'4", and he thought he was this basketball star. He was just tall. He had no real skill. Anyone with any size or skill could guard him, or even not a lot of skill, as I proved. Because before the game, I told him, Keys, you're not even good at basketball. You're just tall. That's all you have. You have no skill. Shut up, Levy. You know I'm better. Keys, you're nothing but size. Even my ass will prove that. I'm going to shut you down. Like, yeah, you're not going to do shit. Okay. So we played like 3 full games. I held this motherfucker to 2 baskets over a 3-game span. He couldn't do anything with me. I blocked his shot. I stole the ball. Yeah. And then at one point, Keys, who thinks he's also a point guard, even though he can't ball handle for shit, and he was like tall, so he dribbled the ball up really high, and it was easy to steal. But Strickland runs up to guard him when he's bringing the ball up. We're like, oh, come on, Strickland. You can't guard Keys. Just sit down. And before we could say another word, he just reached out and swipes the ball away from Keys and steals it. And we're all in shock, like, whoa! Holy shit, did he just steal the ball? Strickland just stole the ball. Whoa. But then we figured, okay, it was luck. Every dog has his day. Everyone gets a lucky punch. Whatever. So, next possession, Keys is trying to play point guard again. Fucking Magic Johnson wannabe, right? And he's bringing the ball up, and then Strickland comes up again. Like, oh shit, here we go. Can he do it again? Steals the ball again. I mean, just swipes it out of Keys' hands like it's nothing. Damn, that's twice now. Yo, Keys, Strickland's taking your shit, bro. What are you going to do about it? He looked humiliated, as you would expect, right? This, like, 6'3", 6'4" kid. Keys was a tough-ass motherfucker. Maybe he wasn't good at basketball, but he could wrestle, he could box, he would fuck you up. He was a bad dude. And he's getting played by fucking 95-pound Strickland. And we're all laughing at Keys. Keys was kind of an asshole. He was kind of a piece of shit. I never really liked the guy, and he didn't really like me either. Although I tried to get along with him. And steals it from him a 3rd time again. And at this point, we're just going nuts, right? The whole gym's going bananas. People stomping up and down on the bleachers and hooting and hollering like, oh, Strickland, oh. It was like probably one of the greatest moments of that guy's life. You know, kids like that always dream of being good at sports, and this is his one moment in the sun. Especially against someone twice his size. Yeah, man, like, he was something else. And he also had a shit ton of money. Because he was frugal and smart with his money, he never spent any of his paycheck. He didn't drive. He didn't drink or smoke or go to clubs or buy anything. He'd eat his food in the DFAC. He never bought food at the store. He saved almost every penny he ever made. Both, I guess, during the army and when he had a job before. In civilian life. And I don't know if he had 100,000 or whatever he had in the bank, but it was a lot of money. And it was obvious just from knowing him and being around him, he never worried about money. You could kind of tell with some people. And we went on a retreat together, the single soldier retreat in Lake Placid. And it was me and him, pretty much. The only 2 guys from the battery that went. And at one point, he's like,
I'm I'ma go get a massage, Levy. You want me to buy you a massage too?
And I wasn't never really into like massages, not that much. But I'm like, well, okay, if he's nice enough to pay for it, sure, Strickland, I'll do it. We'll go. And this massage was expensive. It was in the hotel we were at. It was like $95 for a 45-minute session. It was a lot. And he just plunks down 90, $100 like it ain't shit. Like,
I got a lot of money. It don't matter to me. I just want to treat my friends.
it's like, oh, it's so nice. He was like so cute, You couldn't hate him in the end. He was just a really nice little kid. And I always thought he was playing us. Like, he wasn't as big of a shitbag or as ate up as he looked. For some weird reason. And I asked him one day when we were alone, I said, Strickland, you're not this ate up, right? You're a lot more high speed than we think. And you're just kind of like act like it's an act, right? And when he would want to admit to something or say yes, he kind of nod his little head up and down and go, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's what he did.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, he admitted it was all an act. Yeah, but I haven't seen him or talked to him since I got out in 2011. I have no idea what he's doing now, but yeah, I hope he's all right, It wasn't too bad in the end. But yeah, hope you like the story of Strickland, the great Stephen Strickland. What a guy. What a fucking guy.